Now, right to the point. These are 7 signs that you're going to be rich in 5 to 10 years. You know what? I've been telling you one thing. Wealth creation is actually an intentional process. You have to be looking something. You have to be doing, you have to look doing something. You can't just sit somewhere and expect something to just happen and be wealthy and be rich. No, no, no. Let's check on these signs. Do you have any? And by the way, these are the classification. If you have at least 6 to 7 of these signs, on a very serious note, come back to this channel after 7 years by God's grace and ask me if you won't be in that particular level. If you have 4 to 6 service or rather signs, then you're still on the process. If you have 2 to 3, you can actually do something and you can actually do, you're doing great on the same case regard. So by the way, guess what? I promise you, let's have a deal. Let's sign this contract as of now. I share very valuable information on this video for the next 15 minutes. And also you like the video and you subscribe. Is that a deal? Thank you for signing. So hit that subscription button and like the video, comment on the comment section. Let's get the business now. The sign number one. The sign number one. You have ever tried at least 3 businesses or an investment or more. I repeat, the sign number one. You have ever tried at least 3 businesses or you have ever tried an investment, at least 1 or 2 investments. So if you possess that sign number one, ever tried 3 or more business or investments, guess what? You possess that quality and a sign to be wealthy one day in this life. Okay? You know why I'm saying so? Because there is no way you can speak the language of wealth and riches if you have never tried any business or if you've ever tried anything to do with investments. Why? Show me anybody who has ever been employed and became wealthy. Unless you're very rich, sort of a CEO of given brand or given company and what have you. Or maybe you're a politician and you know how they get their wealth. Anyway, as far as you're in Africa. Not even in Africa, actually, I think globally. So the point is this. If you've ever tried either of these, you know why? Why? Because when you tried the business one, whether it is running or never run, for example, myself, I tried severally. I got into the photocopying business. I got into the Mutumba business. I got into the charcoal business. Wow, I'm telling you, I got also into what we call the milk business. I got myself into various businesses. Now, the issue is this. I have several investments as we speak. So the point is, if you have ever tried something, probably you failed, you already have the experience with you. Do you remember the COVID-19 era? People got the vaccine, all right? Why are you given the vaccine? Okay, let me just give you a little bit. So once you get that vaccine, it's an attenuated form of that disease. That disease is weakened and then it is injected in you. So the body fights it, then it retains the memory so that when the real disease comes in or the actual disease comes in, therefore you still have the retention of the memory, therefore you can be able to fight with it. Okay? Now, this is this. What happens is that when you start a business, probably you fail or it succeeds, you get yourself, amass yourself the experience and the memory to do or not to do. For example, you remember that business that you started and it failed? Did you identify why it failed? Probably you employed the wrong person, or probably you got the wrong idea at the right place or something of sort, or maybe you are selling the right or wrong product and something of sort. You actually know something. You are far much better compared to somebody who has never tried anything. And that's why I always tell people, if you want to get into a business partnership with somebody, do not just qualify them on the basis of them having money. Ask them, what do you bring on board apart from the money? If I can raise 500,000, someone else can raise the 500,000. And someone else has something extra in terms, maybe he's good at selling, maybe she's good at something marketing, maybe she's good at customer service. There is something extra that they have. So it's always good to make sure that you go beyond the money. It's always good to make sure that you have the right experience. So if you've ever tried 2 or 3 businesses or an investment, you're good to go. Actually 3. Okay. Now we go to point number 2. Now, the point number 2, you are in an investment as we speak now. You're already in an investment. What do I mean? There's something that you're doing. You don't just consume the good Joseph's information and leave it untouched. You either have a money market fund that is running, you have some stocks running, you bought yourself some T-bills and T-bonds, you have some rates, you have some index fund, you have some bond funds, you have some ETFs, you have some circles with you somewhere you invested. If you're Kenyan, you understand what is a circle, what it means. You have something that is, you have a business that is running right now. There is something that is going on with you right now. If you're just employed somewhere, I'm sorry to tell you this, you are on the wrong path. I repeat, if you're just employed, you're doing nothing, you have no investments, and if you're having just savings, you're not in. Okay, you might be saving as of now in the intention of investing it. That's okay. But if you're just seated somewhere doing nothing, you're just employed, then you're on the wrong path. And a period of 5 to 10 years, I am telling you, that is a very wonderful time that you can actually transform and change yourself fully as you move to the next level. So those are the things that you're supposed to understand. All right. Now we proceed to the next one. All right. Now, when we say that you already have an experience investment first before you even go to that point, it means that it is something that is going on in your life. It is something that you already gotten yourself into. It is something that you, hey, guess what? You can attest. You can say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing the other thing, and that kind of a thing. All right. You don't just speak the language. I want to be rich, I want to be wealthy, but you're doing nothing. Remember one thing, it has to look intentional. You have to be intentionally doing that specific thing. Winning is intentional. Okay, we go to the point number 3. The point number 3 is none other than having you have what we call you are mean with time. You are mean with time. You are mean with time. What does it mean? The meaning with time is that you're so much having a lot of time with yourself. Why? You're doing what we call the personal growth, self-growth. You're improving yourself. You are learning. You're trying out yourself. You want to know, you understand yourself. Either you're reading the books and all those kind of things. When you hang out with your friends, it's for a few minutes to go back to your house, go back to your job, go back to your creativity chamber, and that kind of a thing. So people call you your mean with time. You're hardly unavailable. But have you ever asked yourself, why do celebrities sometimes even disappear? You find the celebrity comes for a show and then they tell you, hey, you know what, I'm on a hurry because I'm going to a next show. They're not even going to a next show. Most of them, they just don't have what we call the availability actually brings their value down. You have to seclude yourself. You have to get yourself with time. There's a video that I made and I told you one thing. Do this for the next 91 days and the result will shock you. Go check that video. It actually shares with you how you actually snatch yourself from the population. You snatch yourself from the population, you draw that boundary, then grow yourself, improve yourself, check out on your weaknesses, improve on them, and also now go into the investment and get yourself better. And that is exactly how you not only shock you, but also you shock even the rest of the people that way, and you can be able to achieve the greatness. I really wish you know how much it takes maybe for somebody to be a celebrity somewhere. You know, those people that usually see them, oh, I like the way she looks like, I like her hair, I like her body composed, I like that guy, how he is huge and strong, like we have our Papa OJ in Kenya and what I mean. Do you know how much work it actually takes for them, those guys, to actually do behind the doors? They do a lot of things. All what we see, it is just they come to a show, they do the best, you pay them a lot of money, but they have done years and years of practice that you have never seen them. For example, you're just watching this video, you didn't know what I did. I woke up, I read the skits and all those kind of things. I prepared, I came on this board. I didn't want to, but I just failed. I just believe that I need to do this thing. It takes a lot of effort, all right? So you have to do that also yourself. We'll go to the point number 4. The point number 4 that you have to do is that you have a small circle of valuable individuals. Small circle, guess what? It's a small circle, but guess what it is? It's a valuable individuals. It's of valuable individuals. You don't amass yourself with like 15 friends or 10 friends. Maybe in a weekend you have like 6 people hanging around, maybe talking about women, talking about the makeups and whatever. I mean, talking about things that are not even valuable to your life in terms of the growth and what have you. So if you have a small circle of friends who are valuable, I love to call them the strategic people, then it means you're actually amassing yourself, or you're encircling yourself with people who can actually help you to move from the next level to the next level to the next level. But if you just hang around with average people who are like you, then you ain't gonna end up like them. That's a reality. And I always tell people, this is not my saying, somebody's saying. They say if you can be able to count 5 idiots amongst your circle, you are wrong. There were actually 6. You did not count yourself. So the point is this: it's always good to make sure that you hang around with the valuable, especially if you hit 30 years and above. That is an age whereby you tell me you have 4 friends, I tell you have a problem. But if you can have 3 strategic people, somebody who is good at finances, somebody is good at law, somebody is good at social life and psychology and what have you, another one maybe say at spiritual and what, I'm telling you, you have a complete structure in your life and you can be able to do great things in your life. Stop hanging around with average people. Stop hanging around with people who are not where you want to be. Hang around with people who are where you would like to be. You get what I'm saying? Let's go to the point number 5. The point number 5 is none other than you having what to care. You consume infotainment. And I want you to consider this. Consumption. You consume infotainment. What does it mean to consume infotainment? It is informing you and entertaining you at the same time. Most of the people, you just consume entertainment. Just think that it's entertaining you. It is not informing you. But when you consume infotainment, It is informing you, entertaining you at the same time. For example, if you watch some documentaries about finances, about economies, and all those kind of things. I mean, it just puts you in order, understands what is money, how money works, how it goes about, and all those kind of things. You consume some big writers of the books like Morgan Housel, like those kind of things, them J. DeMarcos and what. If you consume that kind of an information, it keeps you at par. You tend to think in a different from the majority. So if you consume infotainment, that way you're able to propagate yourself to the next level. But if you just consume funny thing, there is nothing wrong with consuming funny thing, but there's something wrong to consume that thing like entirely. It's the only thing that you consume. It is always good to make sure that you have that concoction, that balance of these things, so that at least you can have a balance of your life. Okay, let's go to point number 5. If you possess this sign, then you're on the journey to actually becoming wealthy in a period of 5 to 10 years. The point number 6, brother, not 5, is that people call you mean. Just simple that. People call you mean. People call you mean. But indeed, you're not mean. Okay, fine. You might be mean. There are people who are generally mean. They are wealthy. They have the money, and they are mean. But there are people, when you actually dissect them, they are not really mean. I remember there was a time I was doing the interior design job and what have you, the painting. You can check my 2 years old or 3 years old videos. You can verify what I'm saying. I remember there was a guy who was sent by the boss then, who had given us a job, and that guy was sent to buy something. He was given 1,000 shilling, and that thing was costing around 750, 7 something or 800. So there was a change of 150 shilling or something. And you know what? That boss is ultra wealthy, not rich, wealthy. And I remember when that guy brought the change, the boss was like, hey, so-and-so, I don't want to mention the name, so-and-so, where is my change? And of course, the guy handed over the change. And I was like, yo, this guy is wealthy. But why would you ask for 150 shillings? That's like $1.50 or something. Why would you ask for that? And I was like, okay. Actually, might not miss him, but there was a time this guy could actually decide and buy us a full goat and tell us, you know what, guys, just enjoy that goat. It's for yours. And I was like, okay, there was a time you actually asked for your 150 shilling, but now you bought us a goat. So you don't understand that. So you have to know that these people, they operate with strict budget. And they're not mean. An average person, you will think like, hey, this person is mean. They're not mean. They're actually sensitive to where money is going. If they budgeted this project will consume 1 million or 2 million or 3 or whatever the amount of money it is, they try the best to make sure that that money is actually consumed appropriately and budgeted appropriately. That is not a sign of being mean. It's a sign of being very, 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 very vigilant as far as your money is concerned. Okay, you get that? So if people just call you generally mean, but you know the back of your head, truly I'm not mean. I try this, I do the other, I help people, I do that kind of a thing. You know at the back of your head you're not mean. But if you know you are mean, then you have to change on that. When I say mean, I don't mean like I'm used to the mean because it's the term that they actually use mostly with people. You are mean, you are miser, you are stingy, those kind of names. Because most of the wealthy people, those are the names that they get assigned to. So not until, if people aren't calling you that name, I'm telling you, my friend, you're not doing the right thing. You have to make sure that at least you're very, very strict to your cash. All right? And I learned this idea from a very wealthy individual who happens to be my friend and still my friend. Okay? The point number 7, actually, you have what we call, you attribute your success or your achievement to a higher power. You attribute your success to a higher power. For example, for me, what I've achieved and what I have as of now is by the grace of God, and I give all the glory to Him. Yes, there is a part of me that I worked as hard as I can, as fast as I can, but at the same time, I'm telling you, by the grace of God is what has helped me to reach where I am. So I attribute my success, my greatness, and that what I've achieved and what I will achieve in future, because, well, obviously, maybe it's some 20 or 10 or 5 to 10 years from now, probably, not even probably, I'll be the wealthiest individual on earth. So that I will attribute it to the God Almighty. So if you have the higher power that you attribute your success to, that is also a sign that can actually show you indeed you're moving on the right track. Because there are some of the things that happen in our life you cannot even explain. Let's not deny each other that. That's the reality. There's some of the things that can happen to your life and be like, yeah, sure, I might be smart. I know how to run my show. I do the thing, but that one, no, that's not me. That's not me. When you can actually accept there are some parts that truly you do not play, Yo, that's not you. So when you attribute it to higher power, I'm telling you the truth. If you go to Indians, they have attributed to it. If you go to Christian, if you go to Muslim, if you go to a Buddha, or whoever they go to, they attribute it to higher power. For me, I attribute it to the God, creator of heaven and earth, and Jesus Christ is Lord and my Savior. Let's go to the last point. That is the bonus one, the point number 8. The point number 8, if you watch Good Joseph channel, you watch Good Joseph channel, honestly speaking, I dare promise you by God's grace and God's power is that for the next 5 to 10 years, I want to produce great people, great millionaires, people who will say, you know what, I've changed this because of Good Joseph channel, this is what I watched, by the grace of God, I have achieved this and that. I'll be the greatest soul and I'll be very happy if I can be able to achieve that. So stick to this and make sure that you turn that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new good video. For now, so goodbye and see you in the next one. And by the way, if you'd like to have a conversation with me, it is possible. My number is always on the description of this specific video. Grab that number, give me a call, let's get started. For now, so goodbye, see you in the next one.